Well, well. Pink News bosses accused of sexual misconduct. The couple who run Pink News, the world's largest LGBT news website, have been accused by staff of multiple incidents of sexual misconduct. Several former staff members told the BBC they saw Anthony James, a director at the UK based company and husband of its founder, kissing and touching a junior colleague who they say appeared too drunk to consent. Good lord. And more than 30 current and former members. Do you think Pink News is just run like Wolf of Wall Street? Do you think they're throwing like midgets at dartboards and stuff and stuff like that? Several former staff members told the BBC. Oh, in fact, I've just read that. And more than 30 current and former members of staff said a culture of heavy drinking led to instances when founder Benjamin Cohen and his husband behaved inappropriately towards younger male employees. Representatives from Mr. Cohen and Dr. James told the BBC they were not able to provide a statement at this time, but that their position is that the allegations are false. All of them? That many? You do need to understand, though, where, like, it's happened in a few cases where, yeah, there might be one or two legitimate allegations, and then everybody tries to jump on that gravy train so that they can get a big payout at the end of it. Maybe that's the case, but I don't know. Maybe it is true. It's probably true. But anyway, run by family members, Mr. Cohen, his husband and former GP Dr. James, is Chief Operating Officer, and his father Richard is the Chief Lawyer. Pink News says its mission is to inform, inspire, change, and empower people to be themselves. And here I was thinking that they just complain about absolutely everything. This man made a joke. Turfs. Like that's pretty much all that happens in Pink News. I think one of the guys actually challenged me to a fight. Hold on, I think, right, don't quote me on this, but I am pretty sure that years ago, one of the guys for Pink News challenged me to a fight on Twitter. He said something like he would kick my head in, and I said time and place, and I think I started going down the route of like a charity boxing match, because, I mean, I've always wanted to, and this was my chance to do it legally. Right? Coming out of the ring, I would just have like a mullet, the fucking Dixie flag. Woo! Come on now, boy. Uh, I'm pretty sure I'll need to have a look and check. Right, I'll need to have a look and check, but I'm pretty sure that happened, and then afterwards he blocked me because he pussied out. It played an influential role in the campaign for marriage equality in the UK, and its annual awards ceremony has attracted prime ministers and other politicians because, of course, it does. Those little social brownie points go really, really far with the voter base, don't they? Away from cameras and red carpets, however, multiple former staff members have told the BBC they had experienced bullying and sexual misconduct, which made some of them feel unsafe to be alone around Mr. Cohen and Dr. James. Allegations of misogyny. That's disgraceful. Misogyny in the workplace. There is absolutely no misogyny in here because I don't hire women. Have also emerged, and several people told us that some young female members of staff had been asked to act as the couple's surrogates. That's fucked up. As well as interviewing 33 people who worked at Pink News between 2017 and 2024, we have also seen a variety of evidence, including official written complaints, private emails, and WhatsApp messages sharing staff members' concerns, plus doctors' records referring to stress and mental health struggles attributed to the work environment at Pink News. Sounds toxic. They sound like a very toxic bunch of people. Offensive, almost. Speaking after the story was first published, the Prime Minister's spokesperson called the reports very concerning. While he would not comment on specifics of the case, he said that he believes everyone should be free from inappropriate behaviour in the workplace. People should always feel confident to come forward in these situations, he added. Asked if Mr. Starmer would attend the Pink News Awards again following a previous appearance in 2022, he said he could not comment on the specifics at this stage. They weren't capable of consenting. 5 former members of staff told the BBC they had witnessed Dr. James groping and kissing a junior member of staff who they said was too drunk to stand or talk and unable to consent. The alleged incident happened outside a central London pub where staff had gathered after a Pink News event. A former Pink News staff member, who we are calling Gary, said Dr. James had led the junior colleague behind a tree. Anthony was just forcing himself on somebody who wasn't able to make that decision for themselves because of how intoxicated they were, he said. People at the event said that they helped the alleged victim get home in a taxi. But several former members of staff who said they witnessed the incident told us that they were too scared to complain. One person said, "It's the CEO's husband. What are you going to do? Lose your job?" Oh, we got a little bit of Harvey Weinstein. A little bit of Harvey Weinstein. Come on, you want to be a star, don't you? Cigar. But anyway, a complaint about the incident was made later by a staff member who was shared and was shared and was shared. Look, I'm just saying, with the type of environment, it wouldn't have surprised me. And was shared. I don't mean a member of staff was shared. I mean some probably were, but and was shared with several members of the senior leadership team at Pink News. The BBC has been shown multiple copies of the complaint, but has been unable to establish whether any action was taken as a result. Many of the former employees said staff socials or away days often involved drinking until the early hours of the morning, and that Prosecco Friday, where staff would be given free wine and crisps, was introduced in the office in an effort to boost staff morale. Alcohol, yeah, it can do that. Another former staff member we are calling Damien said he personally experienced inappropriate behaviour from Mr. Cohen during an evening at the pub after work. Ben was extremely drunk to the point he fell off his chair, and then he asked me out of earshot of my other colleagues whether I wanted to go back to his, because Anthony, his husband, wasn't there, Damien said. Whoa. Dirty. He said something along the lines of, Anthony is always getting with other men, and the suggestion was we would do something sexually. I was extremely uncomfortable. Damien said after that night he avoided being alone with Mr. Cohen for the rest of his time at Pink News. I never heard about it again, no apology, he said. It put me on alert because it made me realise it was a boundary he thought he could cross. Stefan, I'm not even going to try and say that, who worked at Pink News between 2019 and 2021, said the job had started as a dream come true where he did not have to hide who I was or pretend. But the dream was soon shattered. Oh, bless. During a Christmas party, they celebrate Christmas. It's a Christian holiday. But anyway, Mr. Kiriachu, fuck it. Hey, it's Kiriachu. Kiryu, use Thunderbolt. But said Mr. Cohen had slapped him on the bottom in front of everyone else. Now that is classic 1950s at the water cooler behaviour. Hey, babe. Psh. Little slap on the butt cheek. Little slap on the butt cheek there. I just shut down for a minute. I didn't know what to say. I was in shock. I remember turning to my friends and saying, what the hell just happened? Mr. Kiriachu said he no longer felt comfortable enough to be alone around his boss. He said... He said, that just made me completely avoid him. I don't remember ever speaking to him one-on-one after that. Other staff also voiced their concerns about Mr. Cohen, Mr. Kiriachu said, with several messages in a group chat describing him as a creep and staff saying that they did not feel comfortable around him. None of us really felt like we could complain because we didn't know what was going to happen to us. Ben is very well known and we didn't know whether he was going to badmouth us to people, Mr. Kiriachu said. Creepy and sleazy. Staff have told us they were shouted at and belittled by Mr. Cohen and that there was a toxic culture at the company. He can be quite brutal in the ways he speaks to you, said Damien. When things go wrong, he'd come down on you like a ton of bricks, and so you were just in this constant state of emotional flux. He put extreme pressures on me to the point I would go home and cry. It caused issues with my own personal relationship with my partner, and then Benjamin would love bomb me and I would think everything was all right. Kai Wilshaw, former head of external affairs at Pink News, said, you had this sort of dark cloud in the office sometimes when Ben was there. That made it really difficult to actually enjoy working there. We work together quite well, but it is clear that he is a very, very difficult character and sometimes overly so in a way that really impacted people who worked with him. Some staff members also said they had witnessed what they called misogynistic behaviour. Several people said that on occasions, young female members of staff had been asked to act as a surrogate for Mr. Cohen and Dr. James. They say that often the request was delivered as a joke, but that it made people feel awkward and uncomfortable. One anonymous staff member called it creepy and sleazy, while another called it part and parcel of how misogynistic Pink News was. That's just part and parcel of working in a big office. A spokesperson for the National Union of Journalists said it reached out to its members following the deeply disturbing allegations, which they say paint a picture of a dysfunctional and wholly unacceptable workplace environment. Many of the staff who spoke to the BBC said they hope the culture at Pink News can change so that it can continue to tell stories relevant to the LGBT community. It's important because the mainstream media doesn't often report on whatever's happening to trans or queer people. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. That's not true. That's not true. Remember that church roof that got destroyed? Right? There was a bunch of different churches that did a bunch of different fundraisers and raised a lot of money. Do you want to know what one that got covered? When drag queens did a fundraiser. Drag queens raised 18k to fix the church roof. Appreciated. Deeply appreciated. Right? I'll give you that. But the other churches raised so much more. They never get covered, but they focused on the drag queen part because that's what the media is obsessed with right now. So shut up, that's not true. They said Stephen Kiriachu, I think if it can be overhauled, it will make a massive difference. Gary said there was a need for authentic queer-led journalism and queer-led stories, but said, unfortunately, Pink News has kind of lost its credibility in that arena. Damien told us he believed Pink News' future could only be secured if Mr. Cohen and Dr. James took a step back. The fact you cannot separate the two is extremely problematic, he said. Problematic. He said, Ben needs to be held to account. Until that day happens, I don't know if there's a future for Pink News. The BBC was informed that Mr. Cohen and Dr. James were not available to provide a statement at this time, but we understand that their position is that the allegations made against them are false. And I'm not going to talk about the validity of the accusations. You know, if there's any kind of investigation or anything like that, they can handle that. However, they're saying, oh, it's a very misogynistic office. Come here. That's it. By the way, out there, we say crimes. We say Section 127 is broken many a time in that main room right there. And we fuck with each other a lot. In fact, I've just recently, literally yesterday and today, I've been dealing with this. I'm going out now. I'm trying to, drink in certain places, have a few drinks out of the bars because I'm trying to get a social life. I'm trying to meet someone new. I'm getting back out there because I'm currently banned from Tinder because a woman matched with me and I said, hello, how are you? And she replied with, I expected a better opener from a stand-up comedian. And I replied with, I expected more desperation from a cat lady pushing 40. So I'm banned from Tinder. The bitch reported me. But so I'm trying to go out and I'm trying to meet people, and basically we use our office as like a staging ground. We come in here, we have a couple of pre-bevs, and then we all head out for a night in the town, which means we're all in here and we're kind of drunk, and when we're drunk, stuff happens. And I've recently had to deal with a situation where someone filled someone's filled someone's PC with bread. Like, he opened his PC and filled it with bread. He got a loaf of bread and put slices of bread all throughout the PC, even stuffed one down the back of the PSU. Right, so he had to get in trouble. The person it happened to is very, very, very upset, especially because his desk gets fucked with the most. So that's the extent of the drama we have to deal with in here. There's no lady bullshit because we don't hire women. And it's not that we don't hire women for equality reasons. It's just because none of them qualified for the positions. Oh no, what a shame. We do have a warning board, though. Whenever one of the boys is bringing their girlfriends up, we change the threat level on the board to women in big red letters. Because you need to be careful. You need to be careful, especially around females. You also apparently need to be really careful around the owners of Pink News.